Good afternoon. I'm back to talk about prayer and fasting. Today, I'll answer questions from a viewer. I can only answer one question in each video. It will take too long, and I want to give each question time to have the proper answer. So the first question I'm going to answer is, do a lot of people in Medjugorje believe in the practice of prayer and fasting? And do they do it? And the answer to that question is yes. I'm going to read an excerpt. I won't read all of it, but just shortly from this book called Fasting from Father Slavko Barbaric. It's excellent. In Medjugorje, Our Lady has asked for a return to fasting. In response to the question, what is the best kind of fast? The Virgin responded, bread and water, of course. We recognize that bread and water is not the only way to fast, but it is the best way according to Our Lady. One has to grow into bread and water fasting. If one has never fasted at all, it may be very discouraging to begin to fast on bread and water only, unless one receives a call from the Lord. There are other ways of fasting which will accomplish the same objectives in us and at the same time help us to move toward the best fast. For example, abstinence from certain foods, eating foods without seasoning, eating foods we dislike, skipping desserts, and simply eating considerably less at each meal are just a few ways of fasting related to food. The important thing is that we begin to fast some way now. And I emphasize now, because if you don't begin now, tomorrow never comes. You know, I'm going to finish eating today and then I'll fast tomorrow. No, you have to start immediately. In Medjugorje, however, there is an emphasis on fasting on bread and water, and there is a profound meaning to it. Bread is the food of the poor. To have or not to have bread is one of the essential questions of our existence. And the Bible often speaks of bread. God provided bread, manna, for his people during their journey across the desert in Exodus 16. I'm going to skip down to the bottom here. The willingness to live on bread and water for 2 days shows a willingness to be poor before God, well disposed towards his will. It means following in the footsteps of the prophets and the footsteps of those who have put to the test in order to give testimony to their faith. Bread is a basic food of his people, and at the same time, bread is a symbol of life. Water is likewise irresistible in our life. Water is irreplaceable in our life. Water is also a sign of spiritual purification. In these two truths, the message is expressed. Come back to life and live. Come out of your impurities and be pure. We are invited to live on bread and water 2 days a week. As Our Lady said, bread and water are the ideal fasting. The person who lives in this way 2 days a week is certainly doing something good to his body, spirit, and soul. The Mother of God has invited us in full freedom. That's important, full freedom. She's not demanding it. Nobody's telling us we have to do it. No, it's a choice. And so that means that if we are very tired, or we have worked hard, or we are not very good in health, we must not be afraid to take tea or coffee and eat a little. So I think that's probably where I have to end this video answering this question, because we're already at 4 minutes. But I'll go on to the next question and just keep watching the little videos, okay? I promise I won't drag them on long, but I want you to get everything that I can to answer each question fully, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, see you in the next video.